Your party approaches a small town. At the gates are two figures with pumpkins for heads and the attire of town guards. They are so still at first, they might appear to be mannequins, a sort of scarecrow to scare away unwanted visitors. A successful perception check, however, reveals that they are in fact very much alive. Any attempt to communicate would be met with silence. If any of the party members attempt to physically touch them, they will be met with hostile action, and the ensuing battle is to the death. If the party chooses to ignore the guards and enter the town, the pair of guards do nothing. The town is eerily silent. Two pumpkin-head children can be seen running around. A pumpkin farmer tends to his crops, and the pumpkin lumberjack is chopping wood. None of them speak or even look at the approaching party. As the sun starts to set, all of the pumpkin people form a straight line and start making their way into a dark forest. The town is soon left deserted. If the party chooses to ransack the place, there will be no one to stop them. There are a couple of huts that hold knickknacks, but nothing truly of value. Now the party has a choice to make. Follow the pumpkin people into the forest, or just go on their merry way. Your party enters the dark forest and are surprised to find a young woman and her cat. She greets the party with a smile and says, "Well, this is quite peculiar." She explains that she saw the pumpkin people and was intrigued as she is a student in the pursuit of knowledge. She identifies herself as Lucy, and she has in her possession a magic staff called the Sun Moon Staff. The head of the staff is a crescent and can tell time and rotates depending on the time of day. And during the day, which is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it enhances her fire spells, and during the night, it enhances her ice spells. And it is gold during the day and silver during the night. She looks at the party and sees that they are very capable people and asks to travel with her because she is slightly scared of the dark. But can the party trust her? A successful insight check reveals that yes, she can be trusted, and she's the best. Before the party can answer, though, they are attacked by 3 pumpkin horsemen, and they charge in without warning. A failed perception check means that the party is surprised. These pumpkin horsemen do not speak and cannot be reasoned with. If a horseman manages to knock any of the party members down, they will attempt to abduct them and take them off the map. The assumption being that they too will be turned into a pumpkin person. If the party is successful in defeating the horsemen, by your discretion, they can gain some cool weapons and some armor. And maybe even the horses. Either way, the party continues into the dark forest, and they hear the woods whisper the words, "Embrace the curse." Your party finds themselves in the middle of a grove full of pumpkins, and at its center is what looks to be a giant pumpkin house. And in front of that house is a pumpkin person, but this one identifies himself as the Pumpkin King. And you hear the words, "Embrace the curse" once more. Now some exposition must happen here, and the Pumpkin King explains that he used to be a powerful wizard, but his rival turned him into a giant pumpkin. And over time, he began to accept his new existence, but he was lonely. So he lured innocent passerbys and turned them into his little pumpkin people. Now, this can go down in several ways. If the party is persuasive enough, he can be talked into letting everyone go and living his life by himself, just being a giant pumpkin. But if they are unsuccessful, then he will use the villagers to attack the party, and the party should be reminded that these are innocent villagers. So the use of non-lethal force is recommended here. And if the party is able to defeat the pumpkin villagers, then they have some pumpkin vines to deal with. Now these will move around to block the path of the party, and the vines will even attack them, either slashing at them or entangling them. and the party will have to fight their way through the vines to get to the Pumpkin King. And if your party is in need of like a Deus Ex Machina moment, then you can have Lucy because her sun moon staff starts to glow gold during the day, which means it's like past 6 a.m. And her fire spells will be enhanced so she could just burn away all of the vines, all of the pumpkins, whatever the party needs for the moment. Now, a fight with the Pumpkin King himself will not be that difficult. But whenever he is struck down, he will reappear in place of another pumpkin. So, the other party members can go around smashing the pumpkin so that he will not have another pumpkin to jump to. Now, to stop him for good, the players will have to gain access to his pumpkin house. And they could do that in several ways. If they have a rogue, they can lockpick the door. But if they have a strong person, they could just bash the door in. And even the windows can be broken into if you have someone who could fit into smaller spaces. Now, when the players gain access to the house, they will notice that there is a beating heart inside of it. And destroying this beating heart will stop the Pumpkin King for good. It is sort of like a lich and his phylactery, if that kind of helps you get what I'm going with here. And with his heart destroyed, the Pumpkin King will be no more, and all the pumpkin villagers will turn back into their old selves. And after, there will be a short celebration thanking the party, and Lucy will give the party her Sun Moon staff as a reward for a job well done, and then she says goodbye and continues on her own journey in her pursuit of knowledge. And that concludes our Pumpkin Patch one-shot. What did you think of it? What are the things that you would keep? What are the things you would change? Comment down below and let me know.